Hey, welcome to class. I'm so glad you're here. Come on into the living room and make yourself at home. Roll out your mat. I'm really glad that you're here to spend the next 30 minutes with me and my dog Mops as we all move our bodies together. I don't know if you can see Mops. He's down there at the bottom of the screen. He's an older boy. He might wander in and out of the frame, so he gets to hang out and do whatever he wants. You and I are going to spend the next 30 minutes moving our bodies and bringing breath and awareness into those spaces that can be kind of tight. It's that time of year, and if you have a lot of holiday stress in your family or in your friend circle or at work, you know, maybe you've got end of the year projects and stuff bearing down on you, this is the time to just take those 30 minutes and breathe. We're going to call this a little bit of a holiday warmer. We'll have some core stuff. We're really going to focus on the bottom of the ribs and the mid-back today. So if you've got a block or two, that will be great. If you don't, that's fine too. You can use, you know, whatever you can find around your house. You can use blankets or pillows, just for that added support. And when you're ready, I'm ready, we'll get started. We're actually going to start standing at the tops of our mats. So I'm going to be over here by my little plant table. And then you and I are going to meet right here at the front, keeping those blocks close by and handy. All right, let's find our mountain pose. Shoulders, hips, knees, ankles in line. We're going to let that sit bone draw in. If we have it just kind of puffed out a little bit, you can see how that adds that sway to the back. We want to tuck it under so the back is in line. The ribs are in line with the hip bones. Roll your shoulders back and down. Take your palms up toward the ceiling. Walk your feet so that they're hips distance apart, not the outside of your thighs, but the actual hip bones. And balance your chin over your chest. We're going to spend a little time here just breathing. Hands can do whatever they like. I like to keep mine in a little bit of a mudra, but you can have yours down on your belly. We're going to cycle through. Inhale through the nose. And exhale through the mouth. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Two more just like that. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Inhale through the nose. And exhale through the mouth. Before we begin to move, take time to do a little bit of a mental inventory. So if you haven't closed your eyes, please do so. And just start by bringing the gaze to the soles of the feet, to the toes. Maybe you're already gripping into the mat. Let that go. Soften the knees, tuck that tailbone under. Let the belly fill and release. If you've been kind of walking around holding in your belly all day, just let that go. There's no judgment in the space. Your belly can look like whatever it looks like. Roll your shoulders back and down. Check in with the little muscles in the jaw and around the eyes, the forehead. That's where I hold a lot of my stress, right here in my jaw. Back of the neck. No judgment, just looking with a mindful gaze. Where can you invite breath today? Speaking of, we're going to bring some movement into our body. Inhale, arms up to the ceiling. Clasp the palms. Push, bring the biceps behind the ears. So we don't want them in front, maybe in line, but we definitely want them behind. So we can take the base of the ribs up to the ceiling. Let the neck follow. If you've got that extra space, wiggle space between your bottom rib and your hip bone, and then tilt over to the right. So you look like this, kind of like a big wake-up stretch, like you're laying down on your bed, just pushing up towards your headboard. And take your right hand, drop it down the leg, turn the left palm up toward the ceiling, right ear toward right shoulder. Roll that shoulder back mindfully. Don't let it cave forward. Keep energy in that left arm. And up. Push. Find that space over to the left. Bring that body all the way over, creating space between the ribs, lifting out. And then left hand is going to slide down the leg. Over,
So it's really easy to just sort of sag into this and say, yeah, I'm stretched. We're going to bring that energy up and through. You should be able to tell the difference there. Reach up one more time. This time, take the left leg and take it behind the right ankle. And then I want you to reach up and take those clasped hands over to the right. Imagine like you're taking your right elbow to your right hip. And then see if you can just get a little more twist in this chest, bringing this up and over to increase that stretch. Yeah, doing good. Bring it up, release. We'll switch sides, shake it out. Take the left leg behind and tip it over. Imagine elbow coming in contact with the hip, and then your top shoulder up and open. Looking under the armpit if your neck has that space. And release, shake it out. All right, we're gonna do 3 rounds, maybe 4 rounds of sun salutation A. 4 rounds just because we're gonna even out the body. Roll your shoulders back and down, find your Tadasana, your mountain pose. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hinge from the hips and fold all the way down. I've been sitting at a desk all day and my lower back just went, what? Oh, this is the friendly reminder my body likes to give that says, hey, you did not get up to do any sort of stretching in your normal work day. And these are the consequences of your actions. Step your right foot back, followed by your left. No matter where you are in your practice, no matter what level you're at, I want you to come to your knees. Gotta roll up my sweater. Bring your knees a little farther than hips distance. Lift onto the front of the knee so you're not on your kneecap. Bring your elbows into the ribs and hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, all the way down with control. Find a cobra, high, medium, or low. Yogi's choice. Maybe you want to bring a little serpentine action into it, just wiggling out the spine a little bit. Turn your toes, lift your hips, push back. Pedal out your feet. Then we're going to take our right foot between the hands. Step the left foot between the hands, half back, forward fold, inhale, slowly roll up. Chin stays glued to chest until your fingers, your chin, and your gaze all come up together. Hands through heart center. 3 more. We'll take it a little faster. If you want to add your hops or your up dogs, any of that stuff, do that as you see fit. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, lift. Exhale, take that left foot back now. If you feel like, yeah, I don't want to do that on my knees anymore, I want to go straight to my toes. If you're on your toes, come to the big toe. Draw your elbows in line with the body. I'm back to Cobra right now just because I want some more little S shapes in my spine. If you want to do your up dog, you do you, my friend. Turn your toes, lift, push back. Pedal out the feet. Step right foot up, followed by the left. Half back, so forward fold. Inhale, slowly rolling up 1 vertebrae at a time. Keep that chin glued to chest, hands to heart center. We're going to do 2 more. If you want to add your hop backs or hop forwards or your up dogs, inhale up, exhale, hands to heart center, fold down. Come up to a half back. I'm just going to give a little micro lesson on hopping back. You want to bend those knees, plant the hands, lift the navel up into the spine, and you want to take the heels off the mat, combine this all into a very stable plank. And then draw your elbows into knees, elbows into knees. That's not right, elbows into ribs, and push back. If you're hopping forward, it's the same thing in reverse. You want to kind of bring your feet together a little bit, bend your knees, lift your navel up into your spine, it's your core and chest, and your butt. That's going to let you hop up, forward fold, inhale, lift, hands to heart center. Last one. Inhale, lift, fold. We'll come back to that little extra back bend in a minute. So again, to recap, you want to bend, plant, lift, and then just like a frog going in reverse. So lift it up and spring. Elbows into the ribs. Turn toes. Now you can always add a little foot back there. And then to reiterate, bring your chest towards your thighs, bend your knees. Remember, this is all optional. On an exhale, landing lightly, half back to forward fold. Inhale up, hands to heart center. I've seen a lot of people doing a lot of like tricks and stuff, you know, with those hop backs and hop forwards, but that's the basics of it. So we're gonna come back to the tops of our mats, bring our hands to heart center. I'm gonna turn and face you. We're gonna lift up, turn the fingers in toward the sternum. You may hang out here. This could be good for you. If you want to go a little bit further, you're gonna lift the base of the ribs up toward the ceiling, roll the shoulders back and down. Now we want to avoid this guy where you're like, I'm not doing that. We're lifting the ribs up and keeping that pelvis drawn back. Take chin to chest. Nicely done. Shake that out. Take your right leg up. Hang. Roll out your ankle. And then I want you to slowly unfurl it back, just like maybe fishing line or string, until you can plant this into crescent lunge, a high lunge. Inhale, lift up, bring those base of the ribs to the ceiling. Stretch out that mid back. Get out of your lumbar, especially if you're like myself and you spend all day at the desk. I'm going to do my absolute favorite here. We're going to do some scoops. Come down. Dump some water over your head. We're going to take two more. Come through. Dump some water over your head. And then we're going to change this up a little bit and do a very similar action, but we're going to do it with our blocks or with something sturdy. So even if you have like a 24-ounce can of tomatoes, that will work. I want you to place it in front of your foot, and I want you to lift it up, parallel to the chest. Lift it up toward the ceiling. Hands on either side, and lean back into it. It's not going to feel like much right away, but you're going to repeat. Knee over ankle. Felt myself wavering there. Come back. Engage that back glute. Lift ribs up toward the ceiling. Block's going to come down to the outside pinky toe edge of the foot. Your back foot is going to pop all the way up. Hand to the hip. Could be nice. Foot out. You've got a wall behind you and you're stepping into that wall. Literally, you could move, pause me, move, step into a wall, half moon pose. Looking out to the side if you're balancing, that can allow. Huge thing to remember, do not lock out this front knee. That does not help you build balance. That just aggravates your joints. Nobody likes that. I'm gonna place this foot gently, 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 gently with core control, right back down. Lift the left leg up. Getting into that winter warmer part, we're gonna take our knee to meet our nose, knee to meet the left, using those planks, knee to meet the right. Then we're gonna come back and we're gonna draw some little boxes, 3 little boxes. In your plank, this can always be done on your knee. In your plank, you're gonna go elbow, elbow, shoulder, shoulder, elbow, elbow, shoulder, shoulder, elbow, elbow, shoulder, shoulder, foot up, hands on the inside. Hang out here if you want to keep that power. If you want to come down into something a little more loungy, you can always drop your knee down. Now if you're like, I would like to twist, please, either place your hand on a block, which is great, that right hand,
and lift, or without the block. Today we're doing the block. If you want to take this hand behind you, you're free to do that. Make sure that comes into the waistband on the opposite side. We're going to unfurl ourselves and drop this knee down. And just for a moment, we're going to straighten that front leg. Give it a bit of breath, a bit of release. Before we switch sides, I'm going to go over here because that way, if my body's in line with the camera, you don't have to do that. If you want to take a sun salutation, be my guest, please do so. You can start that from your down dog. And then meet back up in your mountain pose at the top of your mat. That was a pretty lazy down dog. My alignment was terrible. And some days, you know what? It's fine. If it was a perfect alignment day, we would never have practice. We just have class. Shoulders, hips, knees, ankles, roll your shoulders back and down. Left leg is going to drift up. You're in a hang. As my daughter likes to call it, flamingo pose. She's too obsessed with flamingos. And we're gonna unfurl that leg all the way back, land down. Beautiful. Ah yes, back to those dips. 3 on this side before we add our props. Lift the base of the ribs up, we're gonna scoop. Dump some water over your head. We're gonna scoop. Dump some water over your head. We're gonna scoop. We're going to dump some water over our heads, and then we're going to grab our blocks or supporting item, pick it up from the front of the foot, bring it out, hold, knee on top of ankle. You'll notice that one side of the body is different than the other. Give yourself grace for that. Up, lift the base of the ribs, don't get all squishy. Lift, down, inhale, lift. Exhale down. One more, inhale, lift. Exhale down. Beautiful job. Block. It's gonna come over to the big toe side, peaky toe side of the foot. My apologies. You're gonna load your core, pop that back foot up. Find a distance that works for your hand. Sometimes home practices, how is your couch? Turn your toes out to the side, step into the imaginary wall behind you, or literal wall. A little shaking is good, it's building strength. Lots of shaking means you're not breathing, which is, pretty par for the course for balance pose, so breathe, focus, slowly unwind. Use your core strength to bring you back to your crescent lunge, and then into, did we do warrior 2 on the other side? Your warrior 2. If not, we're doing opposite. That's the kind of day we're having. Draw the hands down. Place your feet, your hands on the inside of the foot. Walk that front leg back and over to the side. So you might just want to line it back a little bit to make sure your knee and your ankle are lined up. And if you want to drop this lower, bring a little relief into the body, excellent. If you want to keep that fire we're building, also excellent. And then if you're like, I would like to twist, remember, each side of the body is different, so honor it. You might twist on one side and not the other. Again, the hand's going to slip through the waistband. If you've got that in your shoulders, push through that back ankle. So there's a difference between kind of coming up and pushing back. Let that back foot have it stay in the sunshine for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. Swing that front foot back. Release it out. We're going to lift it up and over. Did you forget about these? And over and up. Left, right,
one more of these. Left, right, up. Now the 3 boxes with no of that middle relief. Wrist or elbow, shoulder, shoulder, wrist or elbow, shoulder, shoulder, wrist or elbow, up, over, back. Pedal out your down dog. Good job. I'm super proud of you. Those are hard work. Believe it or not. You believe it. Pedal out your feet, drop to your knees. And then bring that front leg in front of you. Stretch it out. Give it just a bit of relief. Take the tension off that leg. We loaded that leg. All right, we're gonna come back to our tabletop. We've got 10 minutes left in our practice. We'll save some minutes for Shavasana, I promise. So we're gonna come to our tabletop, hands under shoulders, knees under hips. Let's come through some cat-cows, just milking out what's left of stressors in our spine. Chin to chest. Belly dropping down, crown of the head and tailbone come together. I could do this all day. I could just live my life doing cats and cows. It would be an absolute delight. Absolute delight. Once you come into that last cat-cow, find a nice, stable tabletop pose. And we are going to find hands under shoulders and knees under hips. And we're going to take feet, toes together, knees nice and wide. And we're going to just sit our booty back for a moment, stretching all the way out. So there's a point in child's pose where your body's just going to want to go flop. And we don't want to hit that yet. We want to find the place to stop where we can feel as we push the hands forward. For me, it's right there. That stretch in the armpits and in the mid-back before I let my entire body completely relax. So we're going to hold in that stretchy, maybe uncomfortable zone for 5, 4, 3, 2, and then fully release. Come on up, we're gonna bring one last bout of heat into the body. This is a little bit of a winter warm up out there. It went from like 50 to 30 here in Ohio, so I was like, my window's open and now my windows are closed and I'm sad. So let's bring a little extra heat into the body. Find our planks again. Remember, these can always be done on your knees. We're gonna come onto the left side, and if you want to do this on your knee, it's gonna look like this. Your hip, hit your knee. There's Mops. Hi, Mops. Hi, buddy. Or you're gonna stack. You're gonna reach that right arm up. Traditional side plank. Now, there's a tendency to just like do this number. I want the hip to be up and lifted, and then your challenge today is to choose whether or not lifting the foot or extending the leg into starfish pose is right for you. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 2.5, 1. Leg comes out to the side, hands come down, hold. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lift it back up and into your plank. So you're gonna do that on the other side. I'm gonna switch so you can see lots of steps. If you don't wanna take that leg up, don't do it. It's not right for you today. Might be right for you on one side, wrong for you on the other. Come into your plank. Nice, lifted, engaged. Roll onto the right side or drop to that knee. You'll notice like one side is automatically more challenging than the other because one side you're gonna wanna drop into it. That's not what we're going for. We're lifting that rib up. Now, did you decide into starfish? For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I almost lost it there. Slide that leg out. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it for the heat part. You did it. Shake out your wrist. We're going to be gentle on our wrists now. We're going to take our fingertips pointing back to our knees. So that can be here, or even just a little bit of a twist. Or if you've had a little more experience in this, you can bring your fingertips all the way back. And then bringing your thighs together, you are going to slowly allow your body to just come back into seated on your heels. You're going to get a stretch somewhere in your wrists. It might be pleasant. It might be deeply unpleasant. If it's painful, stop. Hit a wall of, yes, this feels uncomfortable, but I'm not feeling like the wrists are going to snap away from my body. For 5, 4, 3, exhale, 2, 1, shake it out, and release. Beautiful. Right hand to the right hip. You're on your hero's pose, or you're seated on your block, or you're just seated in comfortable cross-legged position. You're going to take your right hand to your right hip, your left hand to your right elbow, and then I want you to draw that right elbow back toward your butt. So from behind, it looks like this, pulling it back towards your butt to get a nice stretch across the chest. Yeah? You've been holding it there for a little bit. So shake that out. Place that right hand down. Left arm up and over. Let's do that on the other side. Left hand to the hip. Right hand up and over. And you're going to resist. So this hand is like almost going to be pulling you forward, but the other arm is going to resist and pull it back. Oh, if I wasn't videotaping now, I would be saying a variety of curse words. So if you're saying those at home, it's fine. It's fine. No shame in your game. We're gonna let that left hand come down. Come on, up and over. That's a good one to do at your desk. By the way, if you work from home and your desk keeps you kind of hunched over and typing all the time, it's a really good one. If you got your block or support object, bring that down, and we're going to roll down one vertebrae at a time. So bring your shoulders into their sockets, chin to chest, roll down. I'm gonna stick my block right here for extra support because I feel like it today. Chin to chest. Roll down. All right, my friends, we have a couple minutes left in Shavasana. So if there's anything else you want to do before, say, the close of class, if you feel like you want to take a full wheel, or if you are in the market for a plow pose or a shoulder stand or anything of that nature, knock yourself out figuratively, not literally. If you need to get in a little twisties, even if you just need to kind of wiggle it out or whatever you want to do, if you need to adjust your hair, it's all good. And then we will spend the next about 3-ish minutes finding our Shavasana. And remember, you can always hang out here longer. You can always just let the video end and then spend extra time here. So let yourself sink into the mat. Like literally imagine yourself heavy as bags of sand, just sinking into the mat. Let your imagination run a little bit wild. Any stressful places, any extra tension, any parts of your body that were calling out for movement that you didn't get to today, now is the time to direct the breath to those spots. Visualize those locations in your mind. Visualize the breath traveling there, adding weight, and letting that stress or tension or pressure just fade into the mat, into the floor, into the ground, and away from your body. This is a stressful time of year. It's a joyful time of year. There's a lot of obligations especially right now, because we're all trying to get back in the swing of being social and active and that kind of stuff. So give yourself some grace. Give yourself some time to maybe enjoy it. Give yourself some time to just sink into each moment, each breath, each day, so you feel a touch more connected.